What's up, guys? Rachel West and Rick Stroud here. And Rick, I'm just going to get straight to it right off the top here. Got to address this background. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but was that not one of the best things to come out of the postseason so far?
It certainly was a great moment, and Tom Brady has put it on Instagram and made fun of it. He had the famous four-finger meme back in Chicago, and this one was funny because obviously the official can't high five him, so he got left hanging. He's been like that on the Patriots bench before, so just shows the sense of humor he's got. It's self-deprecating, and one of those moments that he was celebrating, and I thought it was pretty neat.
He's got game and he's got jokes. I mean, the guy's got it all. But as we all know by now, obviously the Bucs did beat the Saints. We all know they didn't have much luck the first two tries, but they were able to deliver that knockout punch in round 3. Can you put into perspective just how big this win in particular is? It being against the Saints, probably sending Drew Brees off into retirement and now advancing to the NFC Championship.
Yeah, I mean, historically, this is only the 4th time that they've been this far, right? In the NFC Championship game, they only won it one time when they won the Super Bowl way back in 2002. And to get here by having to go on the road the first 2 weeks of the playoffs is rare as well. And now they'll have to do it a 3rd time to make it back to Tampa for the Super Bowl. But make no mistake, I mean, the Saints had their number. We talked about it, Rachel, going into this game about how they had won 5 in a row. Really were sort of in their heads. But I credit Todd Bowles in particular for coming out very aggressive against Drew Brees, who doesn't have the arm strength or really the mobility that he once had. And he really pressed those receivers and was very physical with them. And they were able to intercept them 3 times and force a fumble, which was huge. So the turnovers were really what won the game. Tom Brady did his part. He executed in the red zone and got the touchdowns. They ran the ball as well as they have for a while. So it was a complete team victory, and they came in with the right attitude. They wanted to erase that stain, and they wanted to move on. And it was an upset, but certainly one that they're going to celebrate at least until this Sunday.
Yes, for sure. And as you mentioned, turnovers were key. The defense obviously played a huge role in the win. And probably not a coincidence that it was Devin White's first game back off the COVID list. Just how much of an impact does he make out on the field, and how much of a game changer is he?
Well, we talked about it, going into the game that getting Devin White back, he's the energy of that defense, but he's also a special player. He's one of the best players in the NFL. He should have made the Pro Bowl. That can be political at times. I don't think he'll miss it next year because playoff performances like the one he just had with 11 tackles, an interception, a forced fumble, those are the kind of things that people remember because you're the only game on TV, and he was the biggest part of that upset. So, Devin White kind of arrived nationally, I think, on Sunday. He's got another great opportunity against Aaron Rodgers, and having him back on defense, there's really no way to calculate what that's worth. But I think you saw the playmaking, which is what you need in the postseason this time of year.
And Rick, as we all know, this team has faced more than their fair share of critics and doubters throughout the season thus far. But really through it all, the confidence that they have in themselves has really seemed to be unwavered. And now that they're coming in off of this big win over the Saints, and they're probably going into Green Bay next week with the return of Vita Vea, a huge part of their defense. Just where is their confidence level at now, and how much has it grown throughout the playoffs so far?
Yeah, well, I'll start with Vita Vea, news that we broke yesterday. I mean, we didn't think he would come back. They'd have to make a deep run into the playoffs, maybe the Super Bowl, but it turns out that broken ankle that he got in Chicago when he was hit by Devin White, some friendly fire there back in October, has completely healed. He's been working out, and he will be at practice on Wednesday. You add him to the middle of that defense, which was the number 1 run defense in the league, against a Packers team that likes to run the football with 3 different backs. I think that's a huge advantage for the Bucs. It's going to help those outside pass rushers. But overall, look, this is only the 4th time, as we mentioned, they've been this far, and maybe one of the better accomplishments of Tom Brady's career. He sort of knows his way to Super Bowls. This would be his 10th. And to have 60 minutes away from coming and being the first team in NFL history to play your Super Bowl in your home stadium, that's plenty of motivation. And I think the way the offense is playing, the way they're running the football, they should be very confident with the quarterback they have, who hasn't had trouble in cold weather, although that will be a story up there where it's going to be snowy and cold. So I think that this is going to be a great game. You've got Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Lambeau Field, the snow. There may be 50 million people watch this game, and I'll certainly be proud to be one of them from Lambeau Field.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good one. And if you're going to put your trust in anyone, I think Tom Brady's a pretty good guy to do it. So I know Bucs fans will be rooting hard for their team to make it to the Super Bowl, and a home Super Bowl nonetheless. That'll be very exciting for this city. We'll see how they do, but we'll check back in with you again before that one, Rick. Throughout the week, guys, make sure you're keeping up with Rick on Twitter. He might just have some more breaking news for you. I don't know. You'll have to stay tuned to find out. But also, as always, be sure you're checking out TampaBay.com for your full Bucs coverage.